Let's go. Let's go.
It looks like it looks like Luigi had just a really long beard.
Oh yeah! Oops! Oops! Here it is.
Cool. So we are here to talk about the Super Mario Bros. Movie, the latest movie from Illumination, directed by Aaron Horvath, Michael Jelenic, with co-directing credits on IMDb, at least going to Pierre Ledoux and Fabian Polak.
That's what the credits said.
I did not see them credited on Wikipedia, but they are there on IMDb. So interesting.
They are in the movie's credits because I saw them. They were co-directors.
And written by Matthew Fogel. So let's get into it. I'm very curious, Ben. What did you think of this?
I'm in the middle of like it and love it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm in the middle. We will definitely get into it. There was a lot of things that I absolutely love what this film does. There's a lot of things I really don't like what this film does. I still had fun in the theater. I felt like a little kid watching a Mario movie for the very first time outside of 1993's Mario film. But as a moviegoer, as someone who has seen content and films of a beloved video game character from my childhood done very well, this movie doesn't it steps up in some areas, but definitely falls down in a lot of others. We'll definitely get into it, but all in all, I still had a blast.
What Ben needs real quickly to say, if you want in between the lines, is that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was better.
I'm gonna real quickly, I forgot to say spoilers. Full spoilers. You've been warned.
Always spoilers.
I know, but I gotta say it.
You don't sit here for 3 hours, baby, or just jump in on our Cine-Files not to hear some spoilers.
It's my OCD. I have to say it.
Ooh, we forgot to plug our D&D Cine-Files, and all the other Cine-Files are up this week as well.
Oh yeah, Shazam, John Wick Chapter 4, and D&D are up.
And John Wick Chapter 3, the audio archive.
That's true. So you can check all those guys out. Sparkz or Ryan?
I'll go because I was already talking. This movie looks visually incredible.
Yep.
Ryan?
When
I stole your line.
No, like when a movie of this quality, it's either it's good or it's good. And for me it's good. It's a good. I don't love it. I was honestly expecting to like it worse. It's because like I do not vibe with Illumination whatsoever. And despite this still being an Illumination movie, the Mario-ness of it was able to distract a lot from me. And like this is a gorgeous movie. It looks good, sounds good. I had a lot of fun, but like there's just not a lot going on here. And I having seen other video game adaptations recently, I wanted more. But like I'm not mad that I saw this movie. I had a good time.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna get us 10,000 views. It's mid.
Yeah,
I did it. Now, honestly, there's really just nothing here for me. I was very bored throughout this film. I did not find it fun. I found it to be a slog, frankly. It's just because it is just a movie filled with references, and there is nothing else to this movie. I don't get the references, so like I'm not the audience for this movie.
Did you find it a visual treat at least, like just seeing the animation?
I do think the animation is very good. And I've got positives here. I got positives on my.
I just wanted to talk about that specifically, real quick.
Yeah, I did find it very visually good. It's a very pretty movie. I think the animation is very good. I like the textures. I like everything about the animation. And honestly, I do vibe with the Illumination. I like a lot of their movies. At least most of the ones I've seen. I haven't seen all of them, but like most of the ones I've seen, I've liked. This really it's not for me, honestly. It's just there's just nothing here for me.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
One of the to like really get into it, because I have been watching in preparation for it's going to, and also to kind of temper my expectations a little bit. I have been listening and watching making sure there were spoiler-free reviews of this movie. So I knew that the plot was not the best, but one of the best things I could say about this movie, I'm going to take from Gerard the Completionist, because he did a spoiler-free review on this, and he said the movie was very safe. And after seeing it, I completely see, this is a very safe movie. They didn't do anything too wild. They didn't do anything too crazy. They did throw in a lot of references in there, and you can tell this is a very much Illumination film.
Well, can I take that one step further, Ben, and say that they didn't do anything?
Yeah, you can. You most certainly can.
Yeah. Real quickly, Ben, I do want to ask, I do still have it up. Do we want to bring up the bingo card?
Oh, yeah, we didn't get it.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't get it.
Do we?
Yeah, bring it up real quick. I made it. Let's look at the picture.
All right, I'll bring it up. Okay, so
if we moved some things around, we could have gotten it because we get the main Yoshi, we get Diddy Kong, the Invincibility Star, which was our free space, but we didn't get Booze in the Mansion, and we didn't get a Legend of Zelda reference.
We didn't get DK throws barrels.
Our DK throwing barrels was in the wrong spot, and if we'd moved that and we'd moved Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, we could have had it. Blue Shell also, getting used, Princess in Another Castle.
Yeah.
Baby Mario.
To be honest, I did the one I'm genuinely surprised wasn't in here is the Mario Death Whale.
Yeah, same.
I'm super shocked that of all of these that we missed, that one was missed. That's nuts.
And he got beat up a lot too.
He did. The fact that there was never a moment where he fell and went whoa.
There's a couple of underwater things.
We would count the part where they were going down and sinking.
Daisy, Koopalings,
Mario doesn't use the fire, but we missed no Wario, no Waluigi, no. I'm assuming no 1993 movie reference because
I didn't catch it, and
I didn't catch any either.
No Bowser Jr., no Lakitu. I was also surprised not to see Lakitu.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be. We saw every creature basically.
Honestly, the moment when he's doing the training thing with Peach and he falls all the way down, I expected Lakitu to come and grab him and bring him back up, but he just goes down a pipe and comes back up. Which 100%. I'm like, that makes sense too. But that's when I thought Lakitu was going to show up.
Yeah. Well, technically, Lakitu is a Bowser villain because he's the one in the original Mario game or Mario Brothers game. He's the one who's up in the cloud and throws the Spinies at you. Yeah. So when Bowser says whatever those things are, and the two Spinies go, oh. I'm like, where's the Lakitu? He's like, it's okay, buds, I love you, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
All right.
We did pretty well, but we didn't get a bingo, unfortunately.
You can close it, Brandon.
No bingo.
Thank you for that. Ben, continue with your thoughts.
What were my thoughts? Crap.
They didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything. When we were in the car ride home or back to Spark's house, because I saw it was Sparkz and Ryan with my fiance Fanny. Ryan said something that he is 100% right. You don't go to a Mario game for the story. Mm-hmm. You go to a Mario game because it's a Mario game and you are in for a very fun and and at times challenging platforming adventure. It's cute, it's cuddly, it's fun. It just gives you that bright, fuzzy feeling. While there may be a story, I think if there is a story, there's only the one Mario game four Mario games are Sunshine, Galaxy 1 and 2, and Odyssey. Those are the most story, and excluding Mario RPG and the Paper Mario games. But the main platforming Mario games that have a hardcore story that you follow from beginning to end are those four. But still,
even then, I don't give a shit about what's happening.
You don't. Some shallow stories.
Yeah, Sunshine's Island. I don't know what's actually happening with the story of those characters. I'm just cleaning up an island, having fun as Mario. That is a shallow ass story. So Mario is about the gameplay. They have story, but it's not Zelda or Metroid. Mario is for pure gameplay.
Oh no. The point I was going to that is that I feel like because I know I am going to watch this Mario movie again. I'm definitely going to own it on Blu-ray when it comes out. I go to it not because of the story. I go to it because of the character, because of the world they go into. And can I just get my biggest negative out of the way?
Yeah.
Please.
Get those fucking pop songs out of my goddamn Mario movie right the fuck now.
Okay, so
it's awful.
Obviously, this is something we had to address because I'd seen the discourse about it and looked into it because I didn't care about knowing about this aspect of the film before seeing it because Brian Tyler composed, frankly, an incredible score for this movie that utilizes a lot of Mario themes and Donkey Kong themes and all kinds of video game pieces. And if you listen to the album, you can hear in the tracks where elements of it are supposed to exist that have now been replaced with pop songs in the film.
To bring an example to the class, if I may, and honestly, this is the one that was most egregious to me. So, little backstory: I have been thirsty for this album, for the soundtrack, since it was even announced. I have been constantly checking this just so I could listen to the soundtrack because I just wanted to listen to how he was able to incorporate the video game music into the film music. And I came across a song called Driving Me Bananas. You want to know where I was listening to this? I was at work, and dear God, I heard not only the opening to Donkey Kong Country, the da 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 da, but the theme song for the first level of the game. Two iconic tracks from that classic 16-bit, and it's supposed to play during the sequence where that gorilla in a sport coat is driving Peach, Mario, and Toad to Cranky Kong. You know what I got instead? A song I've heard 10 billion times.
Take
and
on
I
me.
did not need to. And holy crap, if there were those moments took me out of the movie so hard.
You know who kids love? 80s music.
So real quickly, I'm 100% in agreement because the pop songs were awful and distracting, and none of them were used well. But
There's one exception, and it's the only one that Brian Tyler did not compose a score to go in the place of, and it's Brooklyn.
No
when
Sleep Till
they're
Brooklyn.
running, No Sleep Till Brooklyn. Like when they're running through at the beginning in New York City on the platforming thing to go, and it's playing No Sleep Till Brooklyn. That is the only section where I think a song works.
But as soon as I heard I Need a Hero, I was like, why are we?
Yeah.
Why is this here?
Yeah. I because it's Illumination, and that's what they do. They pop songs. For the Mario movie, more specifically, like the songs that they chose are like Thunderstruck.
But I think the worst.
What?
I think the worst part about this is like, you know, when this happens, you don't usually have the release score have the music that should have been in those spaces instead. Mm-hmm. But people have gone to the score and noted like, yeah, this is what's supposed to be there instead of Take On Me. Yeah, this is what's supposed to be there instead of Thunderstruck. And like, these are not only like good score pieces, these are things that are incorporating more music from the games.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I want to kind of rebuttal against with Ryan saying this is Illumination. You're right. Illumination uses pop songs, but oftentimes there are songs there that are written for the movie, and so they are meant to be in that movie. They are incorporated into that movie, and when they're not, I believe they are better handled than what we've seen here. What they have done here is just use what feel like temp tracks that they decided to keep in.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am just chomping at the bit here to
continue
on the music.
It's one of the worst things about it because every time like one of them pops up, it's just like it's a groaning thing, and like I would have felt that way if I had known in advance that they were cutting out Brian Tyler's score to put those things in. But like the fact that I know that there was really good score instead is just frustrating.
So like,
hold up, Ryan, really quick. Because I listened to this before I saw the movie. I heard the Donkey Kong songs. I heard Driving Me Bananas before I saw it. And I'm like, holy crap, they're actually putting music from Donkey Kong Country. Discourse on Twitter spoiled the fact that I knew the DK rap was going to be in the movie. That's another complaint I have for later, so we'll put a pin in that. But oh my Lord, just changing it. Because the main point I'm getting at is that this movie, one of my pauses for this movie is that it takes from almost all the Mario games, not just the main one. And it wasn't just the classic one from 1985. It takes from everything. We see Dinosaur Island. We see the Sand Kingdom from Odyssey. We see Bowser wearing his suit and Peach in her wedding dress from Odyssey. We see all these great things. And there is so much music to take from all those different games. There are bits of amazing tracks from the Mario games in this movie and in the soundtrack. But I really, really want to be in. I wish I was in the room, or at least a fly on the wall, to hear the conversation of, let's Take On Me, a song that does not go with this bit whatsoever, and take out all
to the throat of the man that said that.
Pretty much, I'll take a fire flower to that man or that person. I don't care who it is, because that was one of the dumbest decisions. And even though when you're a kid, obviously this is a kid's movie, but if they go play the games, they will be like, hey, I heard that in the movie.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to pop in Donkey Kong Country and hear Take On Me or Aha. You're not going to pop in Mario Kart and listen to Thunderstruck. It's just dumb. It's really bad.
I was I'll tell you what. The second that the movie opened and the Kill Bill theme song started playing, the dun 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 dun, I looked at Sparkz and I was like, oh no. I immediately got worried for the movie. Immediately, I'm like, oh man, this movie's just gonna look good, isn't it? And luckily, it's not totally just that. It's mostly that. But like, the music is so effing good in this movie. Like, it is so good. Like, every time you hear a little like a doo 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 boop boop boop, like it goes so hard. But then it cuts to just pop song that you hear in every movie. I'm like, why would you rather have this than great Mario music? Because again, this is a kids movie. This is for children. Children do not listen to AC/DC and Aha's Take on Me. No, like, they want to listen to the Mario soundtrack. Like, is that for the parents who are forcing who are bringing their kids with them? Like, I just don't know.
Probably. I mean, the Mario Kart scene, like, we do hear music from Mario Kart when they're picking their carts.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. But then they play Thunderstruck, and I was like, there's like other great tracks from Mario Kart. I'm not saying throw in Coconut
listen
Ball.
to the album, you'll hear what Brian Tyler put in instead, and it's better. That's the thing.
Yeah. That's like one of the biggest, or one of.
No, it's my number one too. It's my number one too, which is just like that's so egregious, and it's only so egregious to me because you already had good score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and you decided to replace it.
And Mag is in the chat right now talking about, I can agree there might be been issues using the songs that we can't use, or most of the songs from Rare / Grant Kirkhope. Grant Kirkhope being the gentleman who composed Donkey Kong Country. Here's the thing, Mag. They don't credit him properly. They just put DK Rap from Donkey Kong 64. He wrote that music. And Brian Tyler had complete blessings from Nintendo. Like, if you
that means that means they own it. That means they own it outright.
That means they own it outright. They didn't use it, and also they didn't 100% credit Grant Kirkhope, who wrote who would set through.
He's on Twitter furious about it. He's like, I'm gonna go see the Mario movie. I can't wait to see my name in the credits. And then literally his next tweet was, I cannot effing believe that. Like, I created that song and they didn't give me credit. Like, I am like, Grant Kirkhope is a huge person in the video game industry. Like, that's really shitty. That's incredibly shitty.
Yeah. There's a petition going around having to get Universal and Illumination to change the credits to give him the proper credit he deserves.
Petitions don't work, especially if that movie's going to make $1 billion by the end of the weekend.
I got a positive.
They still might do.
Can we talk about some positives? I like the voice cast for the most part. I think the voice cast, even Chris Pratt himself, he's not like, again, he would not be my first choice, but I thought he was totally fine. He's serviceable. Anya Taylor-Joy is totally serviceable. She's fine. I really like Charlie Day. Jack Black. This movie would not be good without Jack Black, I honestly think.
No.
I think without that man saying peaches, 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 with peaches showing up in the background, like, that murdered me harder than I could have expected. And I don't think him being Bowser, I think I would dislike this movie more. I think he is like the thing that makes this movie awesome.
That's one of my notes. Love Bowser.
Yeah, the biggest standout for me is obviously Jack Black. I still love Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. I think he does a really good job. He doesn't have a whole lot to do, but even non-vocally, he has some funny moments, like the Mario Kart scene where he pulls up in this giant monster truck Escalade. I was like, that's funny. I like that. But yeah, Jack. Every other review I've been looking at, they've been saying Jack Black is a standout for this film, and he 100% is. Just watching this and hearing Jack Black talk and all those scenes together, like when Comic comes up, the wizard, and Jack Black goes, "Come here, jam with me," and they do, "Da-na-na-na-na-na."
That was so good.
And he's
so good. Yeah, that was so funny.
Bowser doesn't have a whole lot.
Huge shout out to Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek. I didn't even know that was him. He's so good.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound like he usually does. I love him. He does a great Kamek.
What was good? To praise Jack Black even more. Bowser, obviously, mainline Mario games, Bowser doesn't talk, he just roars. RPGs and other games, he has written dialogue, but unfortunately, I haven't played those games. The RPGs like Mario Luigi Superstar Saga, Paper Mario, and
Bowser's Inside Story.
I haven't played that one either.
Oh,
but Jack Black's performance just perfectly embodies Bowser.
I think for the most part, I agree with Ryan that the voice cast is good. I think they all deliver good direct. They've been given good direction. They are delivering their lines well. There's really no problem I have with the voice actors. With as we're pontificating a lot, Jack Black is the standout.
Yeah. But what he does, he brings the menacing, the menace that is Bowser, but also shows Bowser's sweet side, because it's true. He does want to marry Princess Peach. That's the whole reason why he keeps kidnapping her in the games. He wants to marry her. And she keeps saying no. And when he doesn't get his way, he goes into the dragon monster we all know and have to jump on his head.
Big comic Thanos energy.
Yeah.
Will marry me? Well, I just will kill a bunch of people. Maybe she'll like me then.
I'll be sacrificing.
Oh, I did like the nihilistic star. I thought that was funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Luna. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's fun.
Sweet release of death.
It's just so sad. She's so sad when she's saved.
My like the biggest positive I have, probably besides Jack Black, there are a couple of like one-shot action scenes that are either like 2D, like they're doing the side-scrolling levels, or it's the like near the end where it's just like him and Donkey Kong wreck and shop just going everywhere.
Or the Mario Kart.
Yeah, the action in this movie is insane. It is really, really, really impressive. And it just makes me so bummed out that like everything else kind of just sucks, because like the action and the look and the feel and
visually
the
a feast. Even the fight between Mario and Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I love it. I thought it was great. Like I was having so much fun. Like all the kinetic action of this movie is impeccable. I love it. It's just like when everyone stops to slow down to talk, I'm like, no, okay.
Yeah, I think for me the standout is the Rainbow Road action sequence. I think that's really cool. I really liked that. I thought that was really engaging and really fun and really creative. I liked it. I like really everything they were doing with that. And how they incorporate Mario Kart with like the drifting, because that is the like one game I put the most hours in is Mario Kart.
One with the drift, yeah.
And so I'm like really, so I really like that sequence, and I thought that was really good. And then you said the 2-bit, the kind of like the 2-bit 2D kind of side-scrolling.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. But I also really like how they incorporated the power-ups. I thought that was a cool idea. Yeah. That they were just they are in these question mark boxes, and you get them and you do the power-up.
Or you find them in a field.
Yeah, I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I actually I kind of love how they just say, hey, there are power-ups here. This is what they do. Don't ask where they came from. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And also I was really surprised about we knew from the trailer we were getting the power-up mushroom and the Tanuki suit, and the fire flower, obviously, but I also like the ones they threw in, that like the mini mushroom from New Super Mario Brothers, which is the game on the DS. You never have seen that mushroom out, as far as I know, outside the New Super Mario Brothers games.
Where's the ice flower from? Because I don't. That's a new too, isn't it?
Yeah, or that's also in New Super Mario Brothers,
or in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it is in Smash Brothers. You're right. You're right.
You can be tiny. It's the second time that Chris Pratt has done an animated film where he voices a tiny role when he gets miniaturized, which, that's not a huge deal. It's just weird it happened twice.
Lego?
Onward.
In
Onward, he gets shrunk as well and has his tiny miniature voice.
That's true.
Right.
He's got a good miniature voice.
He does. It's
Luigi. I like Luigi in this movie. I think he unfortunately kind of gets sidetracked. And I wish he was sidelined. Thank you. I wish he was a little more, because it is a Super Mario Brothers movie, and like I know Mario is the guy, but like specifically like recent, like Luigi is like he's had a bunch of his own games. Like that dude's like just as important. He is one of the brothers, and I wish he wasn't just like, oh, I'm just getting captured for the rest of the movie. Like I kind of wish he was more involved.
Yeah, honestly, that was another big complaint from a lot of reviewers, and actually, it's one of my complaints too. That obviously it's a Super Mario Bros. Movie, but the brothers are separated. I do like how you see the bond between Mario and Luigi, especially the little cameo with baby Mario and Luigi. I thought that was great, and how they stick by each other, and how Mario's like, "Hey, don't talk." Like in Spike in the beginning of the movie, he says, "Don't you talk crap about my brother."
Okay.
I like that. But at the same time, I wish there was more to their bond than them just being separated for the entirety for 90% of the movie.
Yes, I agree. Like the problem is that like this movie almost wants to walk up to the line of telling a character-based story and decides not to. Like that there's supposed to be something going on about the bond for Mario and Luigi. who are kind of ostracized not only by all of New York City but by their own family.
Yeah.
And then but that they have each other, and then paralleling that with Donkey Kong and the way that his dad looks at him, and like they have that foundation there, but they don't do anything with it. They absolutely totally
the moment in the eel
concept of it. Yeah.
That you brought it up earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
Where they're talking about their dad, which is a funny joke. One of the funniest jokes in the movie is like, yeah, my dad thinks I'm a joke too. Oh yeah? Well, your dad is right. That busted me up.
Yeah.
But like there was room there also for the potential to like have have a bond. Actually, it's one of my problems is like that there's no bond formed between Mario and Donkey Kong. Like they just start working together and then it's like fine, whatever.
The same
like,
with kind of Princess Peach too, though, is for me a little bit. Like
oh my goodness. When because you brought up the Princess Peach thing, there's a moment at the end of the movie that floored me. I was so baffled by it because like towards the end of the movie when Peach goes back to the castle and she's like, I didn't get the Kong army, and they're like, oh, and I lost Mario. I was like, the last time you saw this guy, you all said, who is that? And she said, don't worry about it.
Not important.
Excuse me?
Yeah. The connections with characters are real floppy.
Brandon, I was just.
I'm sorry. Did you just call me Blandon?
I did. I apologize.
He did.
I did not mean to say that. I did not mean it. I apologize.
Well, F you.
Hey, it's your own fault for putting that in our heads with your Instagram restaurant review.
That's true.
Anyways, Brandon, I'm so glad you brought that up because actually when that happened, I was like, but they don't care who only one toad in this entire Mushroom Kingdom knows who knows and cares about Mario, and he's on the adventure.
The fact that they're more upset at the loss of Mario than not getting the Kong army baffled me.
Yeah, it's like actual character relationships being built in this film just is not important, and it's kind of insane. Like they don't need to fill these things in at all. And I'm like, you don't have to do a lot, but do something.
Yeah,
like these characters should talk and have a relationship with each other. Like this is a fucking movie. Anyway, I do want to point out something that really bothers me about this being Illumination. And what it is that if Mario and Luigi look the way they do, and their family looks the way they do, then everybody else in the world should look like they look like the same kind of humans-esque as Mario and Luigi. And the fact that they all just look like other Illumination humans bothered the crap out of me. It bothered me in the Baby Mario and Baby Luigi.
Oh, they're like tiny Italian people.
And I'm a little like Illumination child that you would see in like Despicable Me or something. And it's like, okay, but next to Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, this is jarring. Or when they go to the plumbing house for the rich people and like they look like characters outside of Despicable Me, and then there's Mario and Luigi, and I'm like, this doesn't work. These characters don't work side by side together. These are two entirely different styles of animation.
Secret Life of Pets.
It drove me nuts. I'm glad that we didn't spend a ton of time with that. And honestly, the movie, frankly, like baffled me with the decision to like take us back to Brooklyn at the end of the film, especially because there was no cathartic purpose
for a movie that's an hour and a half. We spend the first 15 minutes in Brooklyn, and then we come back for more 15 minutes in Brooklyn.
I hate every scene in Brooklyn. The final scene, the opening scene, hate it all.
I like the action of what they do to fight Bowser, but I don't like that it's in Brooklyn.
I mean, yeah, but like I don't like it because it's boring now. It's in Brooklyn. I don't care.
Again, like a MacGuffin is not necessarily a problem in movies. You got to have a MacGuffin, but like having one of the regular power-ups from Mario like become like the big MacGuffin of like this turns you in, this is gonna make me like the biggest person in the world, and then just like Mario and Luigi get it and they beat up some goons and then it's over, and I'm like, the star seemed like we didn't need the star at all. Let's just have Bowser marry Peach. We didn't need the star whatsoever. I don't think.
I mean, the star.
Also, real quick. Like the whole point of view is like, oh, we need to be confident in ourselves to be our best person. But they use a power up that makes them invincible to beat the bad guy, not them actually themselves beating the bad guy. So I'm like, I don't know what message you're also trying to send here. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't have much more, honestly.
Yoshi. Oh, you're gonna love you. Bring up the Yoshi thing that you'll
okay. So Brandon, do you watch the post-credit scene with Yoshi?
I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah, weirdly reminded you of 1998's Godzilla, didn't it?
Yep, that's a weird.
Why?
That's a weird thing to put in this Mario movie.
How did that Yoshi get to the real world too? That seems like an odd thing to have.
Why does it matter? It's there.
Yeah.
Like,
why are we spending more time in the real world too?
I can't believe that they like. It's just it's never important like to the characters. Not really that like. They are appreciated by their family, like even in this context, like it's almost worse this way, right? Because like they go back there, their family appreciates them and they're like, yeah, but we kind of like the Mushroom King better, bye. Okay, I guess it's so
when
senseless.
The giant Bullet Bill went through the pipe. Brandon, did you think that the portal was going to explode and they would be stuck in the Mushroom Kingdom?
Yeah,
that's what we thought. That's what I think the whole theater assumed, but no, it just the portal's normal, and they can just go back and forth when they want. I'm like, but the why? Why, Mario? Why?
I don't care.
I really. This is not like the worst movie ever, but I'm like, man, we are in a good age of video game movies, and I'm like, man, this could have been more. This could have been more.
The thing about this being, look, you're right. It's not the worst video game movie ever made. There are far worse.
Yeah.
But the problem is this one's bland. At least in my opinion, this is bland.
It's getting by on its visuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact and sometimes we've said this before. Sometimes a bland movie is worse than a bad movie.
It's true. No, yeah.
Because there's just nothing. At least a bad movie has a something. This has nothing.
React to it. Yeah,
I think for you, Brandon, it lands particularly worse because you don't have a lot of association with the games, and if you have association with the games, it's at least like. I said to Ben and Ryan after that, like, what I'm really looking forward to is having this movie at home and then stripping away the film's soundtrack and then putting in the Brian Tyler score where it's supposed to be all throughout and only having the visuals and the music.
Like the Last Jedi cut.
You will still get the entire story. And it's like, I can visually look on the screen and see, there it is. There's the movie. I know what's happening and listen to this incredible score. And I don't need anything else because those are the only things that matter in this film.
It bums me out because
outside of Peaches.
This is like this might be like the best looking movie of the year. Like this movie looks so good. It's just like what the people are saying and where they're going and what they're doing, I don't care about. And that is unfortunately a movie. This isn't a video game, it's a movie.
No, you need to build these characters.
You need to connect with these characters.
It's one of those things that like I do not agree with the like anti-feminism stance on Peach and that kind of thing. I don't. However, I do think it's a problem that the film establishes right at the beginning that Peach is very competent and capable on her own and decides
to use this
to
random
put her
man
kingdom at risk, to hang back for a whole day to see if Mario's got the stuff. Why doesn't she leave someone else to watch him while she goes to the Donkey Kong country and he can catch up?
She was already going to leave before Mario stopped her. So
Makes
she was
no damn sense.
Yeah.
Zero.
It is interesting to put Mario as like the normal guy when Peach is like the hero of the story, but you need to make Mario the hero of the story. Yeah.
And you can still let Mario be like a person who also shows that he can be competent and helps and ultimately saves the day. And that can happen. But like, there's no good reason for Peach, who's perfectly capable on her own, to have to wait there for a day to see if Mario can even measure up.
That's true.
She should be going to the Kongs. And maybe she gets delayed there and then Mario shows up. But like, that's a whole other thing. Peach can do shit on her own. I don't get why they decided to like make her hamstrung to like, this person I just met, I got to make sure that he can do the thing because he's got to be the hero. And like,
Mario.
What? Why? Right. But like, you can't do both.
No,
that's the thing. Like, I'm all for you want to make Peach able to do things. Peach should be able to do things.
Yep.
But you can't also then still write her like she's always second fiddle to Mario.
That's true.
You just can't. She clearly can do independent actions. Dumb. Absolutely stupid.
But Sparkz, she did the thing where she jumps and glides down on her dress.
Super cute. Loved it. Great reference. Love it. I also love when she uses the ice flower. I thought that was a really good
That's
bit.
A great action
I'm really
scene.
glad that happened because like everybody dies if Peach doesn't do that. And I think that's a great beat in the movie. And that's what I mean by like, that is a good bit of like allowing her to be competent and do something, but also Mario comes in and helps with Donkey Kong's help as well to solve the situation, because it's not just beating up Mario, saving everybody, and then it's fighting Bowser and all this kind of stuff. But like that particular beat at the beginning where she just decides like, yeah, I'm just going to hang back and like see if this guy can like figure it out just because. And I'm like, what? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
That makes absolutely
Even though
no
it was,
sense.
again, the big question block turning into a giant platforming section. That's cool. It's cool. Again, why are you wasting
The visuals are
awesome?
nuts.
Awesome.
They're nuts. They look great.
Bowser's scales, like everything is so. You said the textures, Brandon. Like, man, this movie looks so expensive.
I want to see another only because visually I want to be in this world again because it's cool. But also, there's video games. I can go play them.
True.
I get just as much story.
I just wish this movie. If this movie wasn't so reference heavy, and if it was reference heavy, but they did do the work to have characters and make them interesting beyond a reference level, then there's a movie here for me, right? Like, I'm not a Mario person, but a good movie is a good movie. I have loved lots of video game movies where I never played the video game. Yeah. I'm here because, like, okay, show me what's so cool about Mario, but all you did was throw a bunch of references at me that I don't understand with no characters to back it up, and I don't give a shit.
Here's the thing, Brandon. Unfortunately, this is everything that's cool about Mario. Like, that's what those games are. Like, again, like the visuals are doing what the games do.
Yeah.
And that's why you go to Mario games. But like a movie has to do more than that.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous to me that they couldn't see that all that is sitting right in front of them is that Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, and Donkey Kong are all people who are looking for connection,
family,
and are isolated for one reason or another in their own worlds. And the fact that they all just should have become a found family and that was the point of the film, the fact that is not what the movie does is so blindingly dumb to me. I just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also really interesting because generally with these like big movies, there's like 8 screenwriters. One person wrote this script, which is surprising. You think with Nintendo and stuff, there would be like 400 people to like ironclad it out.
One 12-year-old wrote this script.
Yeah.
Here's what's more confusing about that. So this guy has only one other screenplay credit to his name. He helped develop the story for the Lego movie, and after that, he wrote the script for Minions: The Rise of Gru, which is the second Minions movie, and then he wrote this.
Man, I guess he's just, I don't know, like an Illumination guy that they got to do it. But I'm like,
but he's not, because he doesn't have any other Illumination credits outside of Minions. It's what baffles me so much, and I'm sorry, but like what baffles me so much about that is that like you have this opportunity to make a Mario movie. This is Nintendo's second big budget movie ever.
Yeah.
And they only did the one and said no more. And now you got it again. How did Nintendo not say, you know what? Can we get some more writers in here? Maybe someone who's actually written the movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
And look, here's the thing. Like a lot of other people I've seen in the responses to this of just like, it's a kid's movie. Stop. Like, let it just be a dumb kids movie. And I'm like,
those Puss in Boots.
Guys, like, you can say that, but like, we are well past the age of like kids movies, especially kids movies with this level of thought and budget and IP need to be this careless.
Bro, I watched Slumberland.
Like,
that made me cry. Come on, we can do better.
Like, you don't have to have a kids movie that's this hollow. Like, it's just, that's a frail argument to me. Like, shut up. It doesn't matter that the fact that like, yeah, the kids can shut up and enjoy it. This should be a movie that people should be able to love no matter the generation, and that they should be able to love for decades to come. And like, that's the aim. Like, that's not a valid argument.
Puss in Boots is a kids movie.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, look, and we've talked about like there are tiers of like who you're aiming at and how you're like there are ways to aim a more child friendly, even more child friendly than like the general Puss in Boots kind of style audience film, to still do that in a way where you're not just precluding entirely like any further adult engagement or thought.
Yeah.
And like this movie needed that. Like it just needed to have a goddamn story at the heart of it for these characters. Yeah. That's all. And like it's nuts. It's just nuts.
I'll tell you at the end of the day, and the theater that we were at, there was a lot of kids, and those kids, you know, they were like 5 to 10 years old. They were having a blast.
Yeah. They
were bouncing in their seats. They were screaming. They were yelling Mario. Like they got a great experience because again, like it's easy to entertain a kid. Just make it visually significant. And this movie is visually a splendor. So like for the kids, they do have a great Mario movie. I just wish this could have been like a Pixar DreamWorks quality movie where everybody can enjoy the Mario movie. Right. That's all, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
I have
final thought?
No, I was going to say I have a few more positives and a negative.
Oh, please.
I'll get my negative out of the way. I get this movie's only an hour and a half, but I do feel like there are times where the movie was going at a breakneck pace, and I was like, "Oh, damn, that was really quick."
It's rushing. It's rushing because
it is rushing.
It isn't interested in taking any time with these characters, so it needs to just speed on to the next visually enticing thing.
Yeah, like honestly, like Sparkz, you were talking about how Peach was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take a whole day." To be fair, she does say I'll leave in the morning, but I do get it. She's like, dude, you Bowser's coming, get your ass over to Kong's right the F now. But Peach saying, okay, yeah, sure, I'll challenge you. It's like that felt too easy. It felt way too easy. And she was like, really? I don't know. First of all, you barge in here, I don't know who you are, and you say you are. It's like, I'm not gonna take you with me. You gotta show me that you can keep up. Or just something, just like more I don't know if like more time would have helped, but I do know like more character development would have been nice.
If they were thinking of character development, then yes, take more time.
Yeah, like obviously Mario and Peach, more character development talking about where Mario's from and how he's been put down, or the stuff with Kong.
Real quickly, Ben, just to kind of interject something. There's a sequence in this movie that talks about Peach's origin story.
Oh yeah,
how she arrives in the Mushroom Kingdom, and it's done, I believe, to explain why Peach is so fascinated by Mario, because he's a human not from this world. But honestly, didn't need it. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know why it's there. That's the only time where I think they try to character development. Add some character development, but it doesn't. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just a weird thing to do.
I feel like that's Nintendo putting something in as like why Peach is in the Mushroom Kingdom when everyone else is Toads, and she's like, I don't know why they put that in there. I kind of agree they didn't need it. I mean, it would because if she went through the same more piped up Mario and everyone else did, it's like, dude, how did a baby get that deep in the sewer?
That's a good point.
I guess the implication would be that she came from a different world, right?
Or that
there are a lot of universes, many galaxies.
Does.
They said the word.
Super Mario Galaxy, but
they said the word galaxy.
They said galaxies.
Should have put that on the bingo card.
Yeah. But for the positive, I am going to say, and this is really only a me positive. I mean, you guys were like Brandon, you were talking about all the references and everything. For a fan of Nintendo, this truly is a feast for the eyes. And I have to give credit to them because they didn't take the low-hanging fruits of the Nintendo franchises that you would think would be. The low-hanging fruit, I would honestly say, would be The Legend of Zelda. That's another Nintendo property outside of Mario that when you say Nintendo, it's Mario, Zelda. Those are their biggest ones. Punch-Out Pizzeria, I loved that. Mario's playing Kid Icarus on his NES at home. You never hear or see anything of Kid Icarus or of Pit outside of Smash Bros. In the modern day. And the original Mario Donkey Kong arcade cabinet was turned into Jumpman, which is what Mario was famously originally going to be called. And not only that, there's a bar in Brooklyn that has the duck from Duck Hunt flying away. And you even have an ode to Nintendo's origins as a playing card company with the Liking playing cards up on the side. As a fan of Nintendo, I will say they did their homework. I mean, you see Pauline. She's the lady in the red when she's being interviewed about the flooding in Brooklyn. There are some great Easter eggs, great references, and hearing Cranky Kong yell, that includes you too, Diddy Kong, and you see Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong even.
He has bongos.
It's like, yeah, he's playing his bongos. It's like, man, this is just fantastic. Or even the wheels when they're making the carts, just like when they're trying to select how to build their carts, it's just like in Mario Kart 8.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, but there's great video game references. We can run through a very long list because there's a lot of them. So I'm
already bored. So please move on.
All right, I will say they did their homework. If you're a fan of the games, it's great. Mm-hmm. They did. I would say that was a positive for me. It was great.
Yeah, you're right. They did the bare minimum. Sorry.
It's true. It's true.
Like that was the bare minimum they need to do in an animated Mario movie is make all these references, right? Like Of course they should have. That's the
What were they
point.
not going to?
Like, you expect different from the Sonic movie because the Sonic movie is live action. So anything that you get that is an Easter egg or reference is truly like you had to go out of your way to do that. That's a treat. Like, this is animated. Of course they were going to have all these kinds of things. Wreck-It Ralph has them, then they're going to be able to do it too.
That's a go.
Like, I hear what you're saying, and it's great for that. But like, even to me, who understands a lot of these references, is like, cool, bare minimum level, guys, bare minimum.
Yeah. Again, like I just go to Jack Black, and I love every time that like Mario is hanging out with Peach. Bowser is like, oh, is he impressing her?
Yeah,
like I think all that stuff was really funny.
I want to go back to the referencing that Sparkz was talking about, that Sparkz and Ben were talking about, because Ben, like, you were going through all these references, and it's really look, man, I'm really happy that you get to see these things on the big screen. That's awesome. Like, hell, if Halo was just a reference machine, I think I probably would like it. However, it's just also a terrible script. This is like, but you said there's a girl with a red dress talking about flooding and I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Honestly, I don't mean to be harsh, buddy, but like, you referencing it just made me bored. I am now bored out of my skull because you went through all those references.
I just wanted us to move past it because like it's there and it's good. It's good that they did it. Like, I don't want to yuck Ben's yum on that or anything.
No,
like,
I don't mean to. I don't mean to. I just want to be clear that I don't mean to yuck your yum, because like I said, I'm really happy that they're there for you. I really am. It's just, there's just nothing else here.
No, I completely understand it.
That just sucks.
Oh no, yeah. I completely agree, because sorry, I do go on a tangent, or like, because I'm sorry, I like flexing my Nintendo knowledge. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I get it.
Ben,
if I wasn't let me finish.
Yeah, sorry.
If I wasn't a big Nintendo fan, I'd be on Brandon's boat.
Yeah,
100%. If I did not study Nintendo as much as I have, completely agree. And my positive is like, hey, I'm like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I get that.
But that doesn't necessarily make a good movie, though.
No. It doesn't make a good. I'm not saying it makes for a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm saying it for me as a fan, it's like, cool, I understand all this stuff. But if once again, because people have been saying this movie was made, and I hate the term, they keep saying this movie was made for the fans. It's like, yeah, but I still wanted more. Seeing all these great nods to Nintendo history, while good, while that's a plus in my book, it is a very small plus. It doesn't make the movie for me. The story, I mean, I will agree, the visuals in Jack Black save this movie 100%. And now we'll go on my final thoughts. This movie is fine. I will give it a decently-ish high score because I did have a fun time. But other than that, dear God, Illumination, do better. Please. If you guys keep talking about how there's a NCU in the future, do better. Give us a story. Put the work in. I mean, yes, putting in a few cool Easter eggs here and there helps a tiny little bit, but does not make a good story.
Here's just real quick, Ben. Here's the other thing. Like, this is not all just on Illumination. Nintendo is very strict with their license, and they had to approve it. Yeah. Nintendo, care a little bit more. A little bit more about the adaptation of your characters.
I just want to bring up the movie that we watched last week, Dungeons and Dragons. That is a movie that is an adaptation of a very heavy lore thing where all of us were at least Ben and I, Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, that spell, that location, right? That's also a good movie. That's not leaning just on references, on your knowledge of the thing. That's, again, any comic book movie, any adaptation. Like, you can't just rest on the laurels of the thing. You have to actually tell the story too. Yeah. And unfortunately, the Mario movie is visual splendor, no substance. Lots of sugar in the soda. Mm-hmm. You know, not a lot of vitamins, unfortunately.
Sorry, Ben, you were in the midst of your final thoughts. I just wanted to comment on that and say, like, you know, Illumination's part of the problem, but Nintendo needs to care more.
You're 100% right, and they should. Dear God, Nintendo is like all around, because sometimes they're like, oh yeah, we're free. It's like, do whatever you want, and then their lawyers, they sick their lawyers on the weirdest things. It is. Yeah, I've talked about this before. Nintendo, like, they take 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. It's bonkers. Yeah, but I won't deny I had fun. But they both, your Nintendo and Illumination, need to do better. Right now, I'll give it a 7. The more I think about it, I'll probably give it a 6 or even lower down the line. But as of right now, it's a 7 because I did have fun. I'm not gonna lie, I had fun.
No, it's okay. I think that's totally valid, man. I'll go next if that's cool.
Yeah.
For Illumination films, I still think that there's visually this is incredible. Like honestly, I'm when I give my score in a moment, the visuals are a point, and Brian Tyler's score is half a point. Like those two things are doing so much work for what makes me like the film.
Yeah.
And there is enough association with the Mario Brothers film that works for me. It's a big treat, like I said before, that I would just want to watch visually with that music and be like, cool, done, great time. There are some other like smaller things, like the use of the blue shell I thought was very clever, that we didn't touch on, like how he turns himself into the blue shell and comes after them. I thought that was very good. But those kind of like really fun charged moments are few and far between. I thought the movie would be funnier, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And like at least kudos to Illumination for not doing a terrible fart joke in this movie. So, props to them. They're growing. And I say that and I'm like, I am not as down as Ryan on all Illumination films, but there is a good bit of their fare where I'm like, it's very shallow to me. And this is maybe their most shallow in terms of just like character and story. And like it's running on IP and visuals alone.
Yeah.
So for me, it is also a 7, Ben. Again, like a lot of that is because like visually, dynamically, in an animation sense, this is very, very fluid and cool to watch and like cool to see. But there's just so little heart and character here. It really drags it down.
Yeah. No, I'm on the same boat. Like I think the strength of everything else is so positive that this is like, I dropped the 7, like it is a passing score for me. Not like super positive, but like I think there is so much good in here that doesn't outweigh the bad. But like again, I would rather look at something beautiful than like than not. I don't know, that's a weird thing to say. I'll ignore that. Strike that. Get that out of there, Sparkz. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a 7. Like I will definitely, if this is on Paramount, Universal,
Peacock.
If I ever get Peacock, like I'll put this on the background while I read a comic or something. Like it's awesome. Like it looks great, but like I don't think I'll ever watch this movie again, to be honest. This movie made me buy a Mario game on sale. That's how excited I was for it. But like, oh man, I can just play the games. I could have just played the games this whole time instead of
Frankly, like even going back to like the visual stuff, like though I wish that if they were going to be this shallow with the character development, then I wish there were like 3 or 4 more of those really incredible dynamic, like one shot take kind of intent action things that they were doing, because I'm like, at least those were really charged and awesome to look at.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brandon, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Let me just say, one of the things that I walked out of the theater thinking is I really hope Ben loves this. Like I really like it's one of those things where it's clearly made with you in mind, and that's not a dig. And I understand I got a little heated about the references, but it was never about you. It was just me trying to say why they didn't work for me. And I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But I have seen video game adaptations where I've never played the game. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and there's stuff there for me. Arcane stuff there for me. I'm sure The Last of Us will be great. I've never played the game. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I really liked. I've never played the games.
Even the first one, let's be honest.
Yeah, I like the first one.
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu. I played Pokemon games, but like, not in a long time, but like Warcraft. I never played Warcraft. I don't care about Warcraft. I really like that movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I am not as down on Illumination as anybody here. There's some of their movies that I actually really like. This is bad even for them. This is a very surface level film that if it's Nintendo's fault, if it's Illumination's fault, who knows? This is very bad. This is just not made for the general public in mind. This is made for the really little kids who like to look at things and the Nintendo bros who wants to do the Leo meme. And that's fine. That's fine. If you want that, if you got that and you like that, that's great. That's really great. Like, frankly, it's great to love things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not for me. So I'll give it. not to be too harsh, I'll give it a 6. I was thinking a little lower, but I'll give it a 6 because the animation is there and it's got some good music. I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, I think it comparatively, like, I think we all are kind of like giving an extra like grade up because we're just like, yeah, but that animation's pretty good.
It is stunning.
Yeah.
Like, it is like, if there is a better Spider-Verse comes out, never mind. So if there's a better looking animated movie this year, I'll buy you $5. I'm like, nope, just kidding. We got Spider-Verse.
JK.
Shit.
JK. But like, it is very impressive what it's doing visually with the animation of the film. This is the same thing that we said when we went back to the first trailers, but like that is a lot of what our scores are riding on, and again, like, that's tough. Like 3 or 4 of those action scenes don't have any cuts in them. They're just long, like, minutes of action happening. I'm like, this is so impressive. I just wish I cared about everything else happening. Maybe that sequel, because again, like, they got so much of it right. If you could just improve the script, we got a banger. We have a full ass banger on our hands, baby.
Yeah. All right. Shall we do our book club?